dignitary on the dais, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Rajendra Sinha ji, our chief guest Sumitra ji, all the HR heads who have come from all parts of the country, my training and placement officers, principals, deans, my OSDs and academic facilitator, my staff members and my loving students. I welcome you all in HR Conclave organized by SOCMS Sandip University. I think here we have got the students of final year, I think? Yes. All are from final year. Okay. Mixed. Okay, I get a very rare opportunity to interact with my students also. Of course, this is a good opportunity for me also to interact with you all. Now, I would like to ask you one thing. Who is the real king? The customer? Tell me. Yes. Who is the real king? Customer? Yeah, somewhat it's true also. But some people say the product is the king. Is it true? Yeah, somewhat true also. But then some people say the entrepreneur is the king because due to the efforts of the entrepreneur, due to the vision of entrepreneurs, the business is being driven. Somewhat true also. But no one gives the credit to the employees by virtue of which the product is being developed, the services are being delivered to the customers. I consider the employees as a real king. They are the true king. And who is managing these employees? The HRs are managing the employees. That's why here we all should welcome the HRs of different industries who are handling the employees and driving the economy for the country. Please give a big round of applause for them. And that's why the real king is the employee for any organization. That's why we should also be very, very careful in recruiting the employees. Now see, let us come to the investment part. We invest in so many things. We invest in FDs. How much rate of interest we get? 6 to 7% per annum. Some invest in mutual funds, 10%, 12% per annum. Equities at the most, 15%, 20%. Real estate, 25% at the most. But if you invest in good employee, if you are paying 50,000 per month, at least 5 lakh rupees per month you will get at least 10 times profit, that is. That's why I always consider employee as the most important aspect of any organization. And the employees are very much near and dear for me, and I always invest in good employees. Why I'm telling all these things? That's why the recruitment of employee is the most important aspect for any business or any organization. If you recruit a bad employee or inferior employee, he will destroy the culture of your organization. Or at the most, after few months of training, he will switch to some other organization. But if you recruit good employee, it will be an asset for you, and your business will improve like anything. That's why the most important thing is the recruitment procedure for any organization. I'm not the man of management. I'm simple engineer. I have not learned how to manage that. I have not learned HR, never taught also. I'm not the authority to discuss much about the HRs because you all are more knowledgeable than me. But since I am also a recruiter, I am also an employer, and every year I recruit hundreds and thousands of employees. I would like to share few things from out of my experience. Whenever, and this is for the HRs who have come here to recruit my students also. Whenever we are going for the recruitment, the JD should be proper. The most important thing is the job description. We should do all the homework before the recruitment procedure starts. Whenever I also give the recruitment vacancies, first of all, we have the clear knowledge of the nature of vacancies, how many vacancies we do have. Because if you recruit more persons, we can't afford them to put them on the bench, because it's very expensive thing. That's why what is the number of vacancies? That is the important thing. Then what kind of employees you want? The job description is very, very important. What is the nature of job? And then when you are going for the recruitment, the job description is important. Then what is the shift time? What is the job timing? 9 to 5 is there, and all kind of whom the person is going to report. What kind of skill set you want from the employee? These things are important. While the recruitment, you should also see, very, very important point, the missing gaps in the CV. I also see that. Whether the person is hopping too much, this is important for my students also. When you join the industry, the recruiter will see all these things. Whether the person is hopping too much, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, why the person is hopping too much? Even the employee is not hopping, even the employee is in the organization for say longer period of time, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. What is the progression of employment? What the employee has contributed there in the previous organization, that is the important thing. These are the missing gaps a recruiter should see, and I also see that, the missing gaps. Whether the employee whom we are taking interview, whether is culturally fit in your organization, it is also very, very important. The person is very talented, whether he will culturally suitable for your organization, whether the person whom you are taking interview, he would like to is a team man, or he would like to work as a solo. This is important thing. What is his nature? What is his attitude actually? All these things are very, very important. Whether the person is autocratic or democratic, whether the person whom you are taking interview will stick to 9 to 5 job, whether he will leave the job at 5 o'clock, or whether he is willing to stay beyond 5. Because there are many employees who will not stretch his job timing. He will leave the position at 5 p.m. and there are many employees who will leave the position after completing his job. That is the important thing. Such things are very, very important. Whether the person can work under stress, whether he will be able to meet the timeline, these things will have to, a recruiter should see while taking the interview of the employees. Then the second part is, when we are recruiting for the senior positions, personally I believe that it should be through internal promotions. Means we should promote our own staff for the superior positions. At the time, acceptability will be more. Suppose I want HOD. I see whether my existing faculties members are suitable for that job. Because if you are importing if you are bringing any faculty, if you are bringing any employee for superior position from outside, acceptability will be a problem. And the senior will have to spend more time in acclimatizing in your environment. Parachute jumping should always be avoided. I am giving a very good case study of very dynamic, dashing IPS officer, Kiran Bediji. She was very successful IPS officer. Wherever she was posted, did brilliantly. When she was posted in Tihar jail, she created, a revolutionary kind of thing in revamping the entire jail system, jail manual of Tihar jail. Then she was transferred to Transport Traffic Department, and you all know that was the headline. She lifted the car of then Prime Minister because that was wrongly parked. But the same officer, when she was inducted into politics, she was disaster. Because acceptability problem was not there and she lost the election of Delhi. You all know that. That time Kejriwal became the CM. She was not successful because she was parachute dropped. That's why for senior position, it's always advisable, if you have got no internal talent, you better promote that. If you don't have, then only you bring from outside. These are important things. And the most important thing, what I consider, this is for the HRs also, my faculty, my employees also, and my young students also. 4 things are very, very important for me. One is performance. Second is potential. Third thing is skill. And fourth is will. My students, you please learn this one. This will help you a lot. Again, I'm repeating. First one is performance. Second one is potential. Third one is skill. And the fourth one is will. Now see, the sounds are very simple, but not that much simple it is, the meaning. What is the meaning of performance? What is the meaning of performance? Performance, whatever you have delivered, that is performance. Whatever you have done, that is your performance. Your marks you have scored, that is your performance. Your skill you have learned, you have earned, that is your performance. That is clearly visible. Whatever you have done in the previous organization, that is your performance. It is easily visible, it's visible and measurable also. Now, what is potential? Potential, it can't be seen. It's an internal thing, inner thing. Whatever you have delivered, that is not your potential. What you have not delivered, that is your potential. Whatever you have achieved, that is not your potential. What is yet to be achieved, that is your potential. Very, very important thing. Untamed talent, that is your potential. It's very difficult to understand the potential inside you. And it is very, very important for any recruiter, any HR to understand the potential of the employee. Now, if the person has performed well, it doesn't mean the person has a potential. Suppose any person is a very good driver. It doesn't mean the person will be very good transport in charge. Now, suppose someone is a very good developer. It doesn't mean the person will become a very good CEO. Any person is a very good professor. It doesn't mean he will become very good HOD or he will become very good dean or he will become a very good administrator. Performance and potential are totally different things. It is the responsibility of the HR, the recruiter, to understand that difference. Third thing is the skill. Skill, you all know, skill is very, very important. And the HR should know at the time of taking interview whether the candidate has got that kind of relevant skill in the person, in the student or in the employee, future employee. And skill can be taught. And the fourth one, and which I rate so highly, that is your will. Will is very, very important. If you have got the right kind of will, even if you are average person, you can do wonders in your career. You can move the mountain, I can say. Once someone asked Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali, the great boxer, whom you rate so highly, which is more important? Skill or will? Ali said, of course, skill is important, and due to that only I am in the boxing ring. But when I receive the blow from the opponent, and when I fall down, then my skill is not helping. Then only one thing shouts from inside, Ali, wake up, Ali, wake up, come up, come up, come up. One more chance, last chance, and that is the will which helps me. That's why will is very, very important. And I can give you one more example. You all have heard a great martial artist, the legendary Bruce Lee. You all know. And the very beautiful film that is Enter the Dragon. Have you seen it? Please see that. Enter the Dragon. The Bruce Lee, you don't know, many of you may not be knowing, the right leg of Bruce Lee was shorter than the left leg by 1 inch. Just understand. If your right leg is smaller by 1 inch, you will be limping. And Bruce Lee was unable to see his opponents without the eye lenses. And in spite of his willpower, and in spite of the and due to and by virtue of the willpower and an enormous practice, he became the legendary martial artist. You all have heard of Carl Lewis. Carl Lewis, Olympian. 9 golds he had got. 9 gold medals he had got in 100 meter and 200 meter sprint. Many of you may not be aware that Carl Lewis was paralyzed by polio under the knee, and just by willpower and by practice he became the legend. And one more desi example I can give you of Dasrath Manjhi. Have you seen the movie Manjhi? Dasrath Manjhi, a labor from Bihar, his wife died because she was crossing the hill, fetching the water, and she fell down and she died. Dasrath Manjhi, he vowed to create the road amidst the hill, and just by chisel and a hammer, Dasrath Manjhi created a road in the hill in 20 years. That is the power of will. That's why I call upon all my students, you should have willpower. Willpower. The 4 things I told you, what is that first one? Performance. The second one? Potential. Third one? Fourth one? Yes. So these things I have told you. Now again, because I have been given only 10 minutes time, I was saying, now I will have to cut short my lecture. Now I would like to call upon the HRs which have come here. Here we have tried to deliver the best to my students, to our students. Apart from the curriculum, we have trained them for soft skill, then various skill-based programs, certificate enhancement, career enhancement certificates, and so many things. They are well trained, but even then, there is all whatever training, whatever quantum training we provide to the students, there is always a gap between the curriculum, university curriculum, and the industrial requirement. Because the industries, they have got various kind of requirements, different kind of requirements. At the most, we can teach them the fundamentals of the business. We'll have to provide them the training also before inducting them. But to bridge over the gap, we have started here, we have introduced industry, institution, partnership, collaboration, and I would like to call upon the industry leaders sitting over here that we also want that we should start here Center of Excellence so that we can train our students as per your requirement, so that after passing out from here, the student will be industry ready. Moreover, we also call upon you all to start, if possible, the research center in your organization. If you have PhD in your organization, we can set up research center in your organization where your PhD employee will be the co-guide, and we will give you the guide, and your employees can do the research work, and after successful completion can become the PhD. Moreover, one more thing, I would like to call upon the HR sitting over here. Technology is fastly improving, and the shelf life of the technology is the shelf life of a mobile phone. At the most 6 months or 1 year, the technology is changing so fastly. Now, to enhance and upskill your employees, we have started industry integrated learning program so that your employees can work in your organization and side by side can pursue the higher studies here. Part-time courses. We have got in diploma, we have got in management, in engineering, several part-time programs we have introduced. You can also explore that. Moreover, I would like to request you all the HRs, to recruit as many students as possible. And second thing, on behalf of my students, I would like to request you, give them the initial good pay package. Right? Because they are saying that if you throw peanuts, you will get the monkeys. At least they are not monkeys. And after all, nothing gives more motivation than money. With this, I wish you all the very best. And again, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to all the HRs who have come all the long way to grace my campus. Thank you very much. Thank you.